His home name was Bub, B-U-B. He was such a brutal guy on the field, they started calling him Bull because he could not be brought down by a regular tackle.
He was a fantastic football player. He was very athletic, very physical. And if you were on the defense and Bull was coming at you, you better hit him low, and then you better hope somebody's coming to help you because you're not going to stop him.
He was like a tractor going down through there. And the other teams, the reason they canceled out on us, I think, was much more about getting their butt kicked than having to play a black on the team.
He told me his position was fullback. Not only could he play that position well, but he was able to kick the football from one end of the field into the bleachers at the opposite end.
And back in those days, you didn't see very many high school players that would put the ball in the end zone, the kickoff. He did it consistently.
Bull would come home, even though he had bloody hands and bloody arms from cleats where people had stomped him, but he'd come home and we would relive those game plays. I cannot tell you, it was like play by play. Our sister Shirley was a couple of years older than Bull. She had to go to high school in Fort Smith because of the segregation laws. So it was a real privilege for Bull to go to FHS.
You know, we only had 5 teams score on us in 10 games. Nobody scored more than 7 points. We only got behind in one game, and that was Joplin, and we pulled that game out.
While we were at the Joplin stop, we usually had a after game meal of some kind, and the coaches had it set up at a restaurant over there, and we'd start sitting down at the tables, and the guy running the place saw Bull and went over and told Coach Spencer, says, your black football player can eat in the kitchen. And it got around to the rest of us before we, sat down to eat. And Coach says, what are we gonna do? We said, we're not gonna eat here. If Bull can't eat here, we can't eat here. So we got on the bus and went on down the road.
The love and the outreach from the teammates, that spurred him on. I can't imagine going on a field knowing that there's so much hatred aimed at you, and even the threats of your life being ended for making a touchdown. Coach Vanette Johnson from Pine Bluff AM&N College recruited him to play for their team with a full scholarship. Before 1965, he tried out for the Cleveland Browns. He went to their camp and he was running the 50-yard dash and became very winded, almost to the point of passing out. So then that's when he discovered that something was going on with his lungs and that he wasn't able to make the team. And he was devastated by that, but he went on. He married a young girl named Shirley Lewis, and she was the love of his life. They were blessed with 2 sons, Sidney and Shannon, and those guys were the love of his life also. They brought joy to him and purpose. Bull's biological father was Ralph Buddy Hayes, and although he was a great, outstanding guy in the community, he was an absentee father in Bull's life. And I believe that's what fueled Bull's desire to reach out to other youth and to help them prosper and grow. He taught other youth how to be respectful and coachable in his career as executive director of the Boys Club of Topeka, Kansas. My father, Bill McPherson, was instrumental in helping him see the vision. Also, I had a couple of uncles, Louis Bryant Jr. and Sherman Morgan, both were uncles of ours. they really influenced him. And also the coaches there on the team, they really laid it out where he could be as great as he wanted to be. They believed in him, and they were so happy that he was coachable. We had a praying grandmother. She prayed, and she taught us how to love unconditionally. So even though segregation laws were in place, we were learning how to treat others with love and respect.
The history and timing that he came was fortunate for us, but maybe unfortunate for him, because if he'd have been 10 years later, he'd have been maybe an All-American high school player. I mean, he was that good. He was the first great black athlete in Fayetteville High School, and I know there's been many, many since, but he did open that door, and I'm just proud to have known him.